Hey everybody, what's up? A couple weeks ago, I got featured on the front page of YouTube. It was on a Tuesday. I was Skyping with Brian, and I got an email that came through. It said, congratulations, you're on the front page. So I go to youtube.com, where I never go. And there I was in the second row. My video was from October of last year called Random Acts of Kindness. It was a video I made in response to some random act of violence, a shooting that happened a few hours north of here in Crandon, Wisconsin. And I just made a video. It was my way of kind of dealing with it and dealing with the grief that some of the communities and stuff have been dealing with. With no email, nothing from YouTube, it got featured. And I didn't know what to do or how to deal with it, so I just kind of waited to see what happened. Thankfully, I use Gmail. So for Gmail, any comments that come through in my Gmail box, I have comments come on. The emails come automatically when I get comments, but Gmail groups them all together like in the same email. So if it hadn't been for that, I would have honestly received like 200 emails a day when this happened. It happened slowly because it must have been on the front page on Tuesday night. So all of a sudden through the night, all these new subs came in, and the comments started coming. And what a trip. What a trip that was. I was surprised by the lack of personal attacks. Not that there weren't any, but I was expecting a lot more hate. I only had one that said, "You're fat." And I was like, yeah, no shit. That was from October, so that was 54 pounds ago. And it was also in my computer room / studio versus my normal, like either park or the French doors. So because I was able to, I don't like looking at myself looking that way. And because the location was different, I could kind of distance myself from the video, if that makes any sense. And I had to with some of the stuff coming through. But like I said, the direct personal attacks to me were minimum. The majority of the attacks were actually about the message of the video, about random acts of kindness. I was surprised on the negative front, the amount of apathy I saw, the amount of hopelessness, the amount of hatred, the amount of hatred to the United States, the amount of hatred to weapons. Suddenly this was all a gun thing. And just kind of this feeling of hopelessness. Well, what I was wearing a jacket with a dark shirt underneath with a white t-shirt. It was fall. I just made it right when I got home. The way the room was lit, it kind of looked like a priest collar. Well, then the Jesus freaks showed up. I had the people asking me if I was a priest. I had people saying that I found God. I had people telling me I needed to find God. All these little side conversations started about God's existence, God doesn't exist, you're going to hell, da 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 da. A lot of that had nothing to do with me. I distanced myself from all the negative comments. I had to. In the end, it's just under 148,000 views that came from this video. Over 500 comments, a little over 100 subscribers, 100 new subscribers. But it was just a trip. It was just a trip. And this was a couple days after coming back from the Minneapolis gathering. the Midwest Gathering. So I had all these videos I wanted to tend to and to edit, all this footage. Suddenly I had to tend to the feature. I'm the type, I reply to anybody new who comments. Or not who comments, but who subs. And it's the first time I haven't replied to every comment. I just couldn't. And especially the negative ones. There was no purpose in trying to argue with some of these people. Although once in a while I would. They'd say things like, you're stupid, you deserve to die. That's my random act of kindness to the world. Stuff like that got to me. There was one comment about killing my mom that I deleted right away. There was another one that I reported about finding my IP address so they can come and kill my family, which would be the random act of kindness to the world. I actually reported that one. Other than that, it was just a lot of stuff, people saying, you know, this idea is never going to work, it's survival of the fittest, blah, blah, blah. And when I'd get at it, I'd be like, so you're saying an infant or an elderly person, we should just let them be? And, you know, you could tell, looking at the insight of the video, the demographic was like all like teenagers. Which left a bad feeling in my belly that this is what the youth that's looking at the homepage, that this is what they feel. I called a lot of people out on it. A lot of people said, you're stupid, this is a dumb idea, and I just reply back, hugs, I love you, blah, blah, blah. Some of them I defended myself, but like I said, I was able to really distance myself from it. It was really the only way I could cope with it and not take it personally. So in the end, it was more overwhelming from a comment and subscriber and just from a kind of a bookwork point of view. Because meanwhile I was posting other videos from the gathering because I wanted to capture that and put that up there while that was hot on everybody's mind and capitalize on that a little bit. So it was a YouTube busy week. And the only way I can explain how I felt was that I was living in a vacuum. Because you suddenly go to this video that gets all these views and all these comments from people you don't know. And once in a while friends would show up and battle it out for me or just stop in and say hello. And it was amazing how nice it was to see a friendly face. Friendly screen name at least. So it felt like a vacuum because I wasn't able to make the videos I wanted. I wasn't able to watch videos that were coming through. And I was feeling bombarded. And the odd thing is, YouTube doesn't even warn you about it. Nothing. And the other night in my Stickam room, somebody asked me how it felt. And part of me said, I kind of felt like I was used by YouTube. When all is said and done, it was exciting that it happened. I had a friend of a friend who went to YouTube for the first time, saw me on the front page. A few of my friends who knew about it are like, "Ooh, Mr. Big Shot," you know. It was kind of a status thing to happen, and it was fun seeing new subscribers, and it was fun reading all of the extremely positive comments too. But I did feel slightly used by YouTube because despite all the good, there was just as much shit to deal with. A ton of shit to deal with. With the hatred and the trolls and stuff that I wasn't